What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Let me start this off by saying, yes, I'm late today. I intended to have more content for you guys today, except I couldn't get to sleep last night. Went to bed around 5 in the morning, woke up at 3 in the afternoon, and my dad was out in the living room blasting The Mandalorian. And I'm like, you know what? He's going to work in a couple hours. Let's just let him have his TV time. And I'll record when he leaves. But instead of doing some gameplay, I want to take a look at this Starfield Direct, because really, this is the only game from Xbox that I am super interested in right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hellblade Senua, the sequel to Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, I'm curious in. That's kind of it. I saw somebody post some picture on Twitter. It was like, ooh, this Microsoft showcase is going to be so cool, because we're going to be taking a look at that as well. Stuff like, so what, I think a new Fable game is going to get announced, or that's what they were talking about. They were talking about Starfield, the sequel to Hellblade. I think the next Gears of War game, which Gears of War 5 really killed my love, not of the franchise, but of my interest in these new games. So yeah, I mean, really, this is the only Xbox game right now that I have massive hope for, which is really depressing, seeing how massive Xbox's catalog of studios is. Good job, Melted Todd Howard, or as everybody really knows him as Phil Spencer. But this is regular Todd Howard, so hopefully we're going to see some good stuff today. If you want to know what my plan is for a lot of these directs and showcases over the summer, right now my plan is, after this one, to check out the Microsoft and the Ubisoft Direct, because I think Ubisoft showed off some Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think is Mirage, is that? I think that's the subtitle of the new AC game coming out later this year. I think I also saw there was a teaser trailer for Assassin's Creed Jade, which looks like it's a Three Kingdoms China game, which we're getting closer to my Japanese ninja Assassin's Creed, but we're not there yet. So, we'll probably take a look at that. I think the new Avatar game that's coming out, that I think is going to be a giant mess, and I am here for it. Oh, we're going to play that game and make so much fun of it if it's bad. But so yeah, those are the two that I have planned. If there's any other good ones, I know Capcom did a direct, but I didn't hear it was that good, so I'm not terribly interested unless they announced a new Dino Crisis or Resident Evil stuff, and I know there was no Resident Evil stuff, so that's the plan. I've got those two directs sitting on my calendar that I'm going to do in the coming days/week. And if there's any other good ones, let me know. And all that is interspersed with usual Let's Play content. But I've yacked enough. Let's get into this. Sounds like Star Wars music. And yes, before anybody says anything, I know I talked about the Ubisoft showcase. Yes, I know Ubisoft is apparently doing what Star Wars, shit. It's not Rogues. It's Star Wars something. I know they're working on a supposedly open world Star Wars game. I'll keep an open mind. Even though I have seen it was like, ooh, the only open world Star Wars game. And I'm like, well, isn't Jedi and Fallen Order and Survivor, aren't both of those kind of open world? I mean, not necessarily open world. I get it. It's probably more Metroidvania, sandboxy. I guess it's not a sandbox either, but it's like a series of interconnected maps, but they're sort of open. I consider it more open world, quote unquote. And then again, you go back to the KOTOR games, which I just feel like that's a poor statement. Sorry, I got off track. I'll stop. Ooh, subtitles on? I don't usually keep subtitles on.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. We've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks To all of you, from the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time...
Look, I make fun of Phil Spencer by calling him a melted Todd Howard. And I don't mean that as a knock on Todd Howard, because I really like Todd Howard. I think he's a cool guy. Phil Spencer, not so much. I hate Phil Spencer's guts, but that's beside the point. I love Todd Howard, but oh my god, he's like a toddler. And it's not that his face looks so young. He's a short guy. At least that's how he looks to me from every video I've ever seen. But it sounds like his voice is up here. Waha!
We'd often talk about and dream up...
I'm being mean to Todd Howard. I'm sorry, Todd.
Take that feeling
I love you.
of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do. And that is Starfield.
I'm very uncomfortable with the way he described that. Because I remember how No Man's Sky was described. And first off, that game was a buggy mess. And before anybody gives me shit because I say how good Cyberpunk 2077 is and how much I like Cyberpunk 2077, I do like Cyberpunk 2077. It's a good game that was broken on launch. I'm going to be entirely... I've heard great thing about No Man's Sky. It's not my type of game because there's no story or anything. Hopefully, there's going to be like some direct narrative direction and everything, and I'm sure we're going to get to that. But just the way he said it just kind of made that hair on the back of my neck stand up from remembering No Man's Sky.
Obviously, we've come a long way since then.
And yes, I know No Man's Sky got fixed, and that's credit to the developers.
Studio. We've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So let's jump in and take a look. Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it.
Okay. I know, I'm sorry, I keep pausing every 20 seconds. Again, the concept of it's not just one world, it's 1,000 worlds. It reminds me so much. Again, I'm going to keep bringing it up. It sounds so much like No Man's Sky. And it really makes me nervous because so much of No Man's Sky, like I went to one planet to the other, and I'm like, this is almost the same planet. I'm like, I'm curious how much repetition there's going to be, why I would go to all these 1,000 worlds. Like, essentially, I am sort of kind of hoping, because I know there's like a shipbuilding system and everything, and I'm really curious about how all that works. There's combat, there's all this stuff. I'm really hoping if I want that I could play like some sort of like space trader, so I can like build a ship and everything and focus on trading stuff and resources, and I can mine resources and then take them to other planets and sell them, or maybe I can build a combat ship, or I'm really curious how those RPG elements are really going to come into this, which I think is something that No Man's Sky didn't really have, at least at launch, because that's when I played No Man's Sky. I didn't play it after launch just because it just was not my cup of tea. There's one other thing I wanted to say. Something about space and trading. Oh, that's right, Rogue Trader. I think it's in beta right now. Go check it out. It's a really cool CRPG set in the 40K universe, if anybody's curious. I've seen good things about it.
At your feet to the mountains in the distance.
I've heard good things about it, and I've seen an LP of it. It's good. Or at least of the alpha.
That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next-generation lighting model uses real-time global illumination to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
I'm not a big fan of that. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like combat is going to be a mess. Because I would want to play it in third person. I love third person action, adventure, open world games. Like, it's what especially when you add shooting to it. I fucking love the third person games. But that makes me really afraid, because now I feel like, combat in third person is going to be really... It is not going to feel as good, because it's... I'm trying to think how to explain this, because I feel like you're going to have to focus and make it either a really good third-person shooter experience or a first-person. And they're very different when you get into it. I mean, first-person is more about motion, and in my opinion, third-person is more about tactics and cover. So I feel like you'd have to do something almost completely different between the two systems. And when I say third person is about tactics and cover, yes, I understand there's tons of third person shooter games that don't have cover systems and everything, and I don't like it. Alan Wake didn't need one because it was very slow. The enemies weren't shooting at you; they were more charging you with knives and everything. It was a different beast. It was shooting was your main of action, or your means of action. It was not a shooter. But something like Mass Effect Andromeda was a shooter. Something like, to stick within Remedy, like Quantum Break, like Returnal. Oh my God, what was the game, the last one by Remedy that I didn't like, that took Alan Wake into its world? Why can't I can't remember what the hell it was called. Control. There we go. Jesus, was not a fan of that game. And again, it's because the combat feels weightless and floaty in third person. It was almost like it was a first person shooter game built in third person, and it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel like a sense of weight, like I was in the world. So that makes me worried for combat. Now, first person exploration and everything, I don't mind, whatever, but combat is where I'm really afraid of it.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources, do a mission, and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
So I'm curious if when you land on the planet, do you have full access to the whole planet, or is it a map within the planet? Can you build structures on these planets? Something that I did find interesting. Let's kind of go back a second. Here it was. So on this survey thing, so you can see temperature, oxygen, what the gravity is. That's really cool to me. Is that you have to plan for, how gravity and everything's going to affect shit, how your oxygen, so you have to wear helmets and everything, the temperature. That's really cool to me. And how you can maybe build a crafting system around that, how maybe a jetpack would affect low gravity and everything, or maybe no jetpack. I really want to dig around into the systems of this game. I know I'm sounding super skeptical, because I kind of am. It's more coming off as curiosity, and I'm really interested to see where this game goes. Okay. First off, See that ballistic. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's maybe that's trophies. Maybe that's just challenges, and you get buffs or something that way. But the thing that I didn't like, we saw combat from the first-person perspective, and even when it went out into the third person, again, it looked very movement-based. It looked floaty. It didn't look like. The cool thing about third person is you're not only controlling the character, but you're seeing the gunfight from almost a cinematic, over-the-shoulder perspective, which is why I don't believe this gunfight. You know, I mean, it's cool in first person. Again, you know, you're crouching behind stuff, and I know that's cover, but it's not like the snap the cover that I like. Yes, I know. Well, AJ, why don't you not everything has to be Gears of War. Look, I'm sorry, Gears of War pretty much designed the, I don't want to say model, but came up with such a great cover system for third person shooters. Yeah, I think you're ridiculous if you don't want to use it. But hey, maybe come up with something new. But this one just looks like more of the same crap that you see out of, like I said, Mass Effect Andromeda, where it was, oh, look, you have thrusters and a jetpack and you're moving around really fast. And I'm like, okay, but now the shooting just doesn't feel right in third person. I'm really nervous about that. I'd almost wish that they'd stick you to one perspective.
Allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu.
Wait, did anyone
pick everything?
7.77 millimeter caseless? Okay. I mean, there's ammo crafting in stuff like New Vegas and other Fallout games. So maybe there's going to be some sort of crafting system with, like you're picking up slugs and you're actually going to build your ammunition, which I'm all for.
That in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food. When you're done exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's
Wonderful.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk, which is all about style.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch, a bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty.
Does it strike anyone kind of like Alien in a way? In the Alien universe, everything was still kind of analog, was still sort of, it had that analog feel, but it still felt futuristic. Which, don't get me, I love the look of this, but I am curious, because again, I know the ships are modular and whatnot. I'm curious how does the interior of the ship change with how you build out your ship and with all the different permutations and combinations and whatnot? I'm very curious about how that works.
What's the plan, Captain?
This is your star map. It starts with the
cool.
planet you're currently on. You can see all of its info and
Okay, so you have the survey percentage, what kind of type it is, what the gravity is, temperature, magnetosphere even. Cool. Radioactive water, all the different elements and resources that you can gather. That's really neat.
resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Backing out further, you can view all the planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems. And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
Yeah, you know, I know I've said, like I said, I sound like I'm being skeptical or everything, but so far, I'm loving what I'm seeing, minus the third-person combat. That one really, like I said, is kind of hinky to me, but everything else, it looks really nice, and I know this is a showcase, so it's probably running on a super high PC, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's on a, I doubt they're showing this on a Series X, but I'm really excited to get my hands on this game. I don't want people to think I'm just being negative because, oh, it's Microsoft and whatever. No, that's for a different day when we watch the Microsoft showcase. No, I trust the people at Bethesda to come up with good stuff. Fallout 74, whatever, that one Fallout game, we don't talk about that. Ooh.
Current course while we scan your ship's cargo.
Oh, cool. No contraband. Oh, so you have to worry about contraband. So maybe so we also have missiles, ballistics, lasers. So we actually have ship combat stuff too. Energy shield, gravitation. Yep, that's your hull integrity, I'm guessing. Boost, control speed. Okay, so the ship really can be just controlled like a ship. It's not just plot your course and fly there. It's not like the Normandy. Sorry, Normandy, I love you, but you know it's something that you actually control in the universe, and that's really cool. But I'm looking at this no contraband on ship, so maybe if you want to be kind of like a smuggler, maybe you're building things in your ship that can block scans, and maybe some scans are better, so you have to worry about, is the scan too good for your ship? I know this sounds really nerdy, but I am super excited for how trade and smuggling is going to work, because I really want to play around with that kind of stuff. Like, I could see myself sitting for hours with spreadsheets and everything, just doing trading. Because I'm a fucking nerd.
Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
And see, this makes me feel a little better about the whole you can do anything and go anywhere, is that I'm seeing story, I'm seeing characters, which is it's very important to me, because I like being able to go off the beaten path and go do just crazy shit, but at the same time I like direction. This is how that's how I like gaming.
Together. That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate. Sam Coe, the former space cowboy. And
I like him.
Barrett.
He's my favorite.
What I hate about these pirates. Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
I heard cowboy.
Journey
I'm in.
with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
I want to ride one of those things. Not those, the ones with the big fuzzy eyeballs. Oh, cool, Tyranids.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies.
I'm sorry, I just heard, join the military, get your UC citizenship. It just reminds me of Starship Troopers. Service guarantees citizenship. Wasn't there supposed to be a Starship Troopers game? I know I'm getting off topic here, but I just once in a video game, I want to see it animated, that great Neil Patrick Harris line of, "It's afraid!" Ah! That's such a great moment. If you've never seen Starship Troopers, and I know there are sequels, don't bother so much with the sequels. I just don't have high expectations of them. They're fun, schlocky dumbness, but not like the first one. The first one is a fucking masterpiece. It's a great movie. It's super hokey and dumb, but it's kind of supposed to be.
The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies.
11 hours with that incident.
Reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems.
Come on, I've seen screenshots of the character walking around in what looked like a little Wild West town. I want to see it because I want to be a cowboy.
Collective space.
Yes!
The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Oh my god, duels. I'm in.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
Ryujin is hiring.
Oh wow, he dances like I do.
Today for our future tomorrow.
I just can't dance like that too much because my cats judge me.
Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Yes, I just said that. My cats look at me while I'm dancing in my kitchen and judge me.
There are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The great serpent hungers.
Oh, great cultists.
Shall be made dust in time.
A new face. Is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile?
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you.
Dude, I've got a massive grin on my face. This looks fucking dope. And I know it's supposed to get me hyped. Yes. What? It's only a couple more months till this comes out, guys.
There are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities, and by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Hey, come on, come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Oh my god, it starts just like New Vegas.
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
It's also the simplest character generation system we've ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings, it's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in. Backgrounds give you a bit of backstory and start you out with 3 basic skills.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages. You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
Vectera, by Vectera, by Vectera! Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the...
Okay, I'm liking this because I love, you know, like path systems and, you know, coming up with your character's backstory. And it really looks like there's a lot of backstories and a lot of traits and everything with this. And I like a system more like this than, Cyberpunk 2077's early Mass Effect. It really feels involved. I like that, especially with how it interacts with quests and stuff like that, and then how you can even further role play more with your traits, having the positives and negatives and everything. I really like that. I'm trying to think how I want to I had another thought brewing. Right, it was with skills. So maybe it's not based on level. Maybe it's more based on, you know, you do so many actions, because, you know, we saw, like, kill so many with, like, a pistol or whatever, that maybe you do so many actions, you get so many kills, so many kills with the pistol, and then my skill with the pistol increases, instead of having it all be level-based, and I'm just putting points into the system. Well, I mean, I think that makes sense. Skyrim, Oblivion, and all that uses a similar system.
Same air. I've got to have every molecule.
You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
That's really
There's
cool.
another great one that gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view!
And the thing I think I like most about the traits is how it's not just a buff with a debuff. You know, it's not just, ooh, you take this and it's a plus minus. It actually has effects on the world and story as well. I think Wasteland did something similar, not exactly like this, but something similar that I enjoyed.
It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go
to another adventure.
We'll let you discover that on your own.
Yeah, if you can't guess what kind of character I'm playing, kind of like a rogue trader, kind of, I'll do some legitimate trading, but mostly we're gonna be doing smuggling. We'll do some bounty hunting. We'll be neutral at best.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, you get a skill point, which can be used to unlock or rank up skills.
Okay. So it's not exactly what I wanted. It's going to be a more traditional level up. You get a skill point, put it into a skill system, etc. I like the whole concept of you get skills and everything by using the skills. I've always enjoyed stuff like that.
Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill.
Okay. So it's a combination of what I'm talking about. Okay.
Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks. With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
I like the xenosociology skill.
Okay, so let's go back here and let's take a look at what we got. So we got physical, social, combat, science, and tech. Okay, so physical is going to be your let's go back so we can actually see. I also like how they're kind of like military patches, or like a patch you'd put on a jacket or whatever. I think that's really cool.
With our 5...
Okay, so we got physical. Okay, so I always think physical as strength, but it also looks like it's going to include more stealth and stuff like that.
Different skill tree.
Social's pretty obvious. It's your talking skills.
4 ranks per skill.
Combat, it's going to be your, I'm guessing, knife, maybe damage to aliens, pistol, shotgun, ARs, revolvers, snipers, disabling shot, armor, maybe there's bows of some sort, heavy weapons, grenades. Yeah, pretty simple.
There's a lot to choose from.
You got your sciences, so I'm guessing something to do with exploration, like the actual systems, minerals, bandaging, so kind of a medical is thrown in here, surveying, maybe reading reports, some sort of biology, habitats, gunsmithing, creating spacesuits, I'm guessing, scanning, that's got to do with flora, I'm guessing. That's chemistry, obviously. Oh, shit. I wanted to see the tech tree.
And 4 ranks per skill. There's a lot to choose from.
Okay, so we got robotics. That's something to do with jetpacks. I'm guessing something to do with the ship. Ship combat looks like it's in here. Thrusters. Okay.
I like the xenosociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Oh, that's neat.
Out of the gate, I'm boost packing everywhere.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through.
Okay, I want to see how that little bit of third-person combat.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch.
I don't know. It doesn't look as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. I'm going to have to play it before I make any final decisions.
My way through combat. That one's a lot of fun.
I like to play a brawler and
the skills that suit your playstyle.
I love playing a brawler when I play Wasteland, so I can relate to that.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player. I like doing the death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
I like blowing stuff up.
See, I want to see them go into like how the weapons work. You know how can like how you modify weapons, how you can mess with them. Is there weapon crafting? I'm assuming there is.
Exploration is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun. When you leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do.
Okay, guys. We'll go through the ships. Oh, companions is next. Space flight, the watch, controller, headset, exploration. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Just because I gotta get something to eat and we're coming up on an hour. We'll watch this section, cut the video. Part 2 will be up tomorrow, and yeah, just a little warning. I was gonna
customize and upgrade that.
Okay, so you can buy ships, customize them. Can you build one from scratch? So yeah, I don't know. I just got distracted.
And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here.
So this is something that I've seen that it's kind of built on blocks and modules. So we've known that, but I want to take a look at this kind of stuff. So okay, so we can select the system. So we have laser, like I said, lasers, ballistics, missiles, engines, shields, and I'm guessing gravity. Overall health. So we also have to worry about fuel, hull, cargo. Okay. So you, okay, it's weight of cargo, I'm guessing. So we also have to worry about reactors, how far we can jump, the total shields, our weapons, the value, the pure mass of the ship, and how much, I'm guessing how much crew we need to actually staff the damn thing.
Make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here. And you have 2 ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout. Adding
That's really cool.
Can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want.
That's really cool. Is how it seems like they're trying to build it so you have so much autonomy in how you want to build your ship, not only in visuals but also in function. You know, you can just simply go through sliders and go, okay, I want this, and you're done. Or you can really go into building your ship and everything. That's really cool.
The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting.
I was really curious about
and
this.
Displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
Cool.
Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it, where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done spiders, we've done mechs. So it's really whatever
it's so dumb and I love it.
Is.
And while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
You know what? We got more time. I thought that section would take longer.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved...
Good.
Except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run.
Okay.
And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting...
Okay, so what it sounds like to me, it's that there are generic drones, but you know, just people that you can find out there that can join your crew or be put in your outposts to do specific tasks. But then you have specific companions that have storylines and everything. There's a thin line between them, but companions are a little bit more involved. You have a little bit more character to them, which I like that concept because it gives you that feeling of a large starship crew, and they're all still kind of people and living people. You know, they're not just faceless goons. But at the same time, there are still your core group of companions that you can romance and whatnot. That because I'm me and I like that stuff.
Shot, you might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
Alright guys, I'm going to leave it off here. I'm really hungry. I gotta go get myself some dinner. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I know I was late today. I'll try not to be late tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll finish up part 2 tomorrow. Probably get some Let's Play stuff done. And later in the week, like I said, we'll probably do the Microsoft showcase and the Ubisoft. And if you have any suggestions for any other showcases, hit me up in the comments. Always happy to hear from you guys on any of that stuff. The engagement also helps with the YouTube algorithm, so help me out with that. And if you're over on BitChute, still want to hear from you guys. Tell me in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And stay tuned for more next time, guys. But I am going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching one last time. I'm out.